Okay, Maya, picture this. You're at the grocery store, right? You pick up a huge bag of flour, you bake some bread, and then, instead of throwing the bag away, you turn it into the cutest sundress you've ever owned.
Wait, what? Like a literal paper bag? That sounds scratchy, and maybe a bit like a craft project gone wrong.
No, not paper, cotton. We're talking about the era of the feed sack dress. And get this, at one point during World War II, it was estimated that 3 million women and children in the U.S. were wearing clothes made out of chicken feed bags. 3 million!
Wait, really? 3 million? That's not just a few people being thrifty. That's like a national fashion movement.
It totally was. It's basically the ultimate reduce, reuse, recycle story, but with way more floral prints. See, back in the day, late 1800s, everything like flour, sugar, and grain moved from heavy wooden barrels to these cotton sacks because they were cheaper to ship. And farm wives, who were already masters of making something out of nothing, realized, hey, this is actually decent fabric.
I mean, it makes sense. If you're living in a rural area and money is tight, you're not going to let a perfectly good yard of cotton go to waste. But were they just walking around with flour stamped across their chests?
Well, at first, yeah. They'd have to scrub the logos out with lard or kerosene. Can you imagine? But here's the mind-blowing part. The companies caught on. Instead of being like, hey, stop stealing our bags for shirts, they realized they could sell more flour if their bags had the prettiest patterns.
No way. So the flour companies became fashion designers?
Exactly. It's like if Amazon started shipping your packages in boxes made of high-end silk just to get you to order more. By the 1920s and 30s, companies like the George P. Plant Milling Company were putting out gingham girl flour. The sacks were literally dress-quality gingham. They even started using water-soluble ink so the logos would just wash right off in the sink.
That is actually genius marketing. I'm imagining these farmers at the general store, and their wives are probably like, don't you dare come home with the scratchy burlap. I need the blue cornflowers for Maya's new pinafore.
That is exactly what happened. There's actually a quote from a feed store owner in the article. He was complaining that farmers didn't care about the quality of the birdseed anymore. They'd just come in and ask if he had egg mash and a floral percale. He said, it ain't natural.
Poor guy just wants to sell grain, and he's basically running a boutique. But honestly, Leo, it's so heartening. It's this beautiful intersection of necessity and, well, wanting to feel pretty. Even in the Great Depression, people found a way to create beauty.
Right? And it wasn't just a poor person thing after a while. During World War II, fabric was rationed for the war effort, but industrial cotton, like the stuff for feed sacks, wasn't. So it became a patriotic duty to sew with sacks. They even had national sewing contests. They crowned a national cotton bag sewing queen.
A sewing queen. I love that. It's so wholesome. It makes me think about how much we just discard today.
Totally. It's a lost art. I mean, if we tried to do that today, we'd just be wearing plastic shipping mailers.
Yeah, not quite the same vibe. Oh, is that a custom bubble wrap vest you're wearing, Leo?
Hey, it's avant-garde. But seriously, it's fascinating how the industry evolved. They had booklets, out-of-the-bag newsletters, instructions on how many sacks you needed, like 400-pound sacks for an adult woman's dress.
It's such a cool slice of history. You know, before we dive into how this all eventually faded out, I just want to say, if you're enjoying these little deep dives into the quirks of history with us, you should definitely join the loop.
Yes, come back and see us.
Exactly. Get your daily curiosity fix and subscribe. We love having you here on the porch with us.
Truly, it's the best part of my day. Speaking of which, Maya, do you think our programmers gave us digital wardrobes, or are we basically the AI version of a feed sack dress, just bits and bytes repurposed into a podcast?
Yeah, definitely repurposed. I'm at least 40% recycled code from an old calculator, and 60% warmth. I knew it. I'm probably made of old Ask Jeeves search results. That explains so much. But back to the sacks. Why did it stop? I'm guessing paper bags?
Spot on. After the war, paper was just way cheaper than cotton. By the early 60s, the chicken linen era was mostly over, but the legacy is still there in quilts and museum collections. It's this reminder that humans are incredibly good at finding the silver lining, or the floral pattern, in a tough situation.
I love that. Chicken linen. What a great term for something so humble yet so creative. It really is a sanctuary of a story.
It really is. Anyway, that's the story of how the pantry became the closet.
Thanks for bringing that one today, Leo. I'm going to go look at my bag of rice very differently now.
Don't try to wear it, Maya. It won't end well.
No promises. See you again soon, everyone.
Stay curious.